My mini... Okay. What the Yo. All... I think I just killed everything on the map because it was just teleporting me to different locations on the tile set. Wow. Here we go again.
Oreo.
Dude, it's transporting me. It's transporting me to different areas of the map. Just by me clicking B. This is the best glitch ever. I can just... Yeah. Blade storm the entire map. This is terrific. I think this should go at the beginning of the Banshee build. It's still going. It's still going. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Bladestorm the world, like all of Earth. Hey, what is going on, my fellow godlies and Warframe enthusiasts around the world? I am Vance, and I am finally taking a look at Banshee. I know it took so long, but in Season 3, I've got to be honest with you, I'm starting to cover Warframes that I don't personally enjoy playing myself. But nevertheless, I think that I've secured a pretty solid build with Banshee. I mean, it's pretty godly by any standards. So, without further ado, how you obtain Banshee is pretty damn simple. You just gotta go into any dojo. It doesn't even have to be your clans. Go to the Tenno Labs and get her components. If you don't have what it takes to get them, then you've got other problems aside from the god builds. And if you're not in a clan, what are you doing? Quit being a 40-year-old virgin, get off your ass, and go join a clan. Be social. But with all jokes aside, seriously, this is dirt easy to obtain Banshee. Fortunately enough for Banshee players, her kit lets her be very versatile. She doesn't really subscribe to any role. Her first ability is a sonic shockwave that pushes targets in range with enough force to incapacitate or kill attackers. This is going to be very important in in-game content because it's the only CC ability that's going to alleviate the pressure off of you very, very quickly. It's essentially your panic button. Sonar. Using acoustic location, Banshee's sonar power finds and tracks enemies and exposes critical weak spots to everyone in your squad. This is going to be important through the duration of beginning tier, mid tier, and in tier gameplay because you can spam this a total of 4 times to highlight almost the entire body, and thus everyone on your team is going to capitalize from humongous crits. Silence, her third ability. Using Silence surrounds Banshee in an aura that stuns enemies and will limit their perceptions and tactical response to gunfire and Warframe attacks. Now, this doesn't quite do as advertised. While it will silence all your guns, it also CC stun locks them for a brief amount of time, and you will be using this in the mid-tier gameplay up until you reach probably the level 90 range, where you will have to start relying on Sonic Boom, otherwise your ass is grass. Soundquake, her fourth and ultimate. Channeling all of her acoustic energy into the environment, Banshee uses ultrasonic reverberations to violently shake the ground and drop the bass. My only complaint with this ability, seriously, is the fact that it doesn't sound like dubstep going ape shit. Soundquake is also an ability that I just don't use really at all. You can use it to complete Riven mods where you have to finish the mission without the pod getting damaged, because this will effectively keep them off of the pod regardless. Alright, moving straight into her build, ironically enough, the first thing I want to cover is not her actual build, but her primary weapons, because I can choose to use one of two different very powerful weapons to this build. The first one that I'm using is the Prisma Grakata, and I mainly wanted to show it off of because of this Riven mod. I'm really not trying to rub it in your face that I have it, I just want to show off that this critical chance plus the multi-shot and minus the fire rate, which can be countered by a speed trigger, this is going to make it so Banshee eats armor like acid. Seriously, if ever you capitalize on those weak points in an enemy, this weapon is going to excel in crit where nothing does. This is going to outperform Soma Prime by 3 times probably. I've literally seen level 100s get dropped in seconds. This is an incredibly powerful build, and it doesn't really need any CC to complement it at all. So, because it has such a high amount of damage capacity, it's going to lack in those situations where you need some CC. That's why I wanted to stress the importance of rocking 2 different primaries of your choice. You could use the Prisma Grakata, or you could use the new weapon that just came out, which is the beautiful Zarr. I don't have a Riven mod for this yet, and I am desperately searching. However, this is the build that I'm using. It's very similar to Tonkor. Instead of Tonkor launching, just one pelt that explodes, this is going to launch one pelt that explodes into a cluster of explosions. Just note that that first explosion that goes off will act exactly like an Augrish shell. So, if you get too close to it, you will down yourself, and you will be sorry. However, if you can manage to highlight the entire enemy's body and get the explosions popping off, this is going to do a lot of crit damage, and you're going to be really happy that you brought it, because it's going to CC the crap out of enemies because it has Blast by default. Alright, so now it is time to actually take a look at her build. For mods, I am using the standard Energy Siphon for obvious reasons. Cunning Drift is present because of the power range, overextended power range, stretch, also power range. Prime Flow, pretty obvious. Prime Continuity is so that your silence can last as long as it can. This is going to be the deal breaker, especially if you rely on silence in in-game content. Some people can manage to make it work in in-game content. I can't, so I kind of rely on my Sonic Boom, but nevertheless, I still put the Prime Continuity there because it's still good for mid-tier gameplay. Natural Talent is going to be very essential to getting your silence off as quick as possible. Quick Thinking I use because I don't have any room for Vitality or Steel Fiber or Redirection. This is going to be essential because she has a big power pool. Resonance, Sonar Augment. Killing an enemy by shooting the weak spot will trigger another Sonar for 100% of a remaining duration. That's going to be really cool because, exposing the weakness, then killing them via their weakness is going to opt more weakness. And then Intensify for obvious reasons because you want your power to be pretty strong. And that pretty much summarizes her build. How you play it is going to be all in the hands of the beholder. It goes without saying that because of the juggernauts we are bringing as primaries, our secondary isn't going to matter much. However, I did choose to showcase another great build as a secondary because you guys deserve it, man. You've been awesome. I'm up to 6K subscribers. So, the Brakk. I use the Brakk because it is really great at hitting those critical points. Seriously, if you really want to use Brakk and you're a fan of it, I realize there's a lot of people out there who are a fan of it. This is going to be your go-to build. It's going to focus mostly on crit and corrosive, and it's going to slaughter anything that it hits in its weak points. Not much else can be said about it. But for melees, I am choosing to rock the Lesion. And the reason why I'm doing this is because Lesion has a really good status chance at 100%, which means we can build for status, and which means we can also benefit from healing return. This baby just came out, and already I have 3 of it, go figure. But it is really good. Nevertheless, the wiki is going to tell you that it's not. The wiki is going to tell you that Life Strike is better. While Life Strike can deal back all of your health with one hit. It also sacrifices energy, which we're also going to be sacrificing energy with quick thinking, so we're kind of not going to be able to afford that health return with our life strike. Thus, we're going to use a fast hitting melee that has a great status and benefit from healing return, and trust me, it won't take much to get you back to full health. This will get you to full health very, very quickly. And on the plus side, you can use this as a quick attack. That's right, your melee doesn't have to be equipped. So this is the best part of this build, is it's going to do really good damage, it's going to have a good status chance, good attack speed, and it's going to heal you. That's something that you desperately need in this build, and that is the reason why I chose Lession. Ultimately, that's the only reason why I'm bringing it, and melees don't really have much of a place with Banshee, but Lesion's going to be the deal breaker. Really quickly, when I'm talking about Banshee's companions, I'm going to resort to Wyrm Prime. Never mind the fact that my mods aren't maxed out here. I have the mods maxed out at the bottom. I'm just in the process of forming. Keep in mind that these mods need to be maxed, and when they are, especially the calculated redirection, you're going to have over 1,000 shields, and that is going to translate into Sanctuary when you go to revive your teammates. The more powerful your shields, the more powerful your Sanctuary, so keep that in mind. Animal Instinct is a mainstay along with Meta Ray. Shield Charger is a new one that we just started including, and because of the new Vacuum rework with Sentinels, you're going to need that, and this is going to be your ultimate utility companion. In my opinion, it's probably better than the pet companions that you either have in the form of Kubro or Kavats. That's it, and that's that. Now when it comes to lenses, I don't think that there's a single other lens that I've covered in Season 3 other than Xeneric, and by now it's getting pretty old to say, go for energy overflow, go for systemic override. You're going to go for energy overflow because it replenishes your energy, just like energy siphon, and systematic override is going to make it so it's more efficient to do so. So that's it, and that's that. Put a little bit of points into here, try to get this thing maxed out, and you're pretty much good. Energy is going to be very important to Banshee, thus you need as much of it as humanly possible. That's why I'm using Energy Siphon and my Xeneric Lens, because the only form of defense we have is quick thinking. So in those instances where you're in the end-level content of gameplay, this is going to hurt a lot, and you're going to need to get your energy back very quickly. So in conclusion, I was pleasantly surprised by Banshee. Although I wouldn't go so far as to say that I enjoyed my time with her, I would go so far as to say that I didn't regret my time with her. She doesn't have that steep of a learning curve, and although she's just not the Warframe for me, she's still pretty enjoyable, and there's a lot of different benefits that she can grant to a team, and anybody is going to love the shit out of you if you highlight their entire body with a crit zone for your teammates to capitalize on, because the crits are going to be coming in through the roof, and who doesn't like just one-shotting their enemies? Banshee provides that, and because of that, Banshee is a viable asset to any God-built team out there, hands down, bar none. So if you like this video and you learned something from it, it always helps if you smash that like button, rate, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And until next time, I'm Vance, signing off. Peace.